Show me to a higher place.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Signed by Bassjackers. My name is Ralph, and today I'm going to show you how we did the Higher Place remix. But first, let me walk you through the sample pack. As you can see, I made signature sample pack, in which I have 2 drops in parts of All Aboard and Nasty. A little bit different than usual is the BJ sample pack, in which I made all samples of the synths and the noises, the kicks I used in this track. And last, but definitely not least, I have here the Higher Place remix file, which you can all browse through and see how I did the stuff. Just drag it into Fruity and you can get started. Okay, after it's done loading, you will see this screen. Really important for a remix is considering which arrangements you're going to use. With this one, I chose to let the original be intact and focus mainly on the drops. So, as you'll notice later on, this part consists of mainly the original parts. And then from this point on, we'll build up and drop into a real Bassjackers remix. Then revert back to the original, build up again, and go even harder. So let's have a listen real quick. I'll skip through the track here and there. Okay, as you can notice, it's pretty similar to the original track, although I have another BPM. Some cool stuff here is I changed the kick. I cut out some of the parts. As you can see, some are repetitive, but other than the others. Because, if you bounce audio, there is this one loop which is always better than the other. This is pretty cool. I'll show you later how I did it. It's Mike, who has been gone through a vocoder.
Show me to a higher place.
I think that sounds pretty cool. I love this. It's Neo singing. He's awesome. Then I added these more ambience kind of sounds to give it a footprint of my own. And I used this Cashmere bird call. He asked me to test out his sample pack, which I gladly did. It was the first one, and it's a real good sample pack. Okay. So that's about it. I didn't do that much to the stuff overall. The Simplon I use for automations. This clap I think has given a bit more reverb. Yes. Got out the low. I don't know why this dip is. I mean, it's been a long time since I made this remix. But yeah, probably I heard something which annoyed me back then. So hence the dip. All pretty standard, and then we go, oh look here, I probably heard something in his voice which I didn't like. Let's see, oh yeah, I remember. Let's have a listen.
Take me to outer space.
I didn't like the volume of the outer space was way more louder than the rest, so what I did, I made it unique. I can show you what I did actually. Just did it like... If you press Alt, by the way, you can drag all the stuff the way you want, or else it will go like this, but that also depends on your settings right here, but check that out for yourself. What I did is make unique a sample. Let's do that real quick, and then it will make this a new sample, and you can then rework that sample the way you like. Yeah, even make Mike sound like a chipmunk.
Take me to outer space.
I don't know. He doesn't sound. He does sound weird as a chipmunk. So, but yeah, it's all about the principle. You can do whatever you like. What I did here was make the beginning a little bit less loud, and I think I even adjusted the volume over there. Yeah, only a tiny bit. Then from this point on, it starts to build into a real Bassjackers remix. Let's see what we do here. I do use a lot of Nexus on this one. Massive even, and I think this one is silent, and yeah, it'll consist out of those three synths. But as you know, I love Nexus and I use it a lot. Okay, so this is a brass, I don't know how to pronounce it. Let's see how we got there. Okay, so if you press this button, all the effects on the channel will turn off. So in retrospect, it's always real easy to see everything, but like with every other track, you will start with a blank slate and you will search for sounds. Or if you like your own sound design, you can tweak whatever. Everybody does it in his own way. Yeah, well, at some point, for me, I heard this sequence. And I thought, hey, cool brace, let's use it. Nexus always, it's sample based. It's all waves in there, I think. And each one of these are representing a different sound. So if you turn them all off and then on one by one, you can hear which sound is under which number. So 11 is this. Sounds pretty cool. Cool snare. Let's see where we got our friend. Hey, that's the one. That's the one. Over here. I used it an octave lower. So there we go. And then let's retrace my steps in terms of FX. I put a shitload of reverb on there, as you can hear. A little bit of the dry reverb, 50%, which is a lot. And then decay. This is all to preference. There are no rules here. There are no rules in music whatsoever. Just do as you like. And I did cut out some lows because else they will interfere with the low of my kick and a sidechain. So that will give you this result. And then remember, it all started from here. So when you browse through sounds, always use your ears to see if there's anything you like in somewhere. Even if it's some frequencies you like, use your ears and use them wisely. Okay, so here I have this sign, it's for low. Funny thing about this track is, this sign will even go under the drop, which I usually don't do, but yeah, it gives us sort of warmth to the whole track. I use it an octave lower. There you go. I used it quite a lot back in the day, but I don't use it anymore. The R bass, you can definitely hear the difference. Not on that key. Let's do it in the key I use it. Dude. Okay, so this is with, without. There's some difference. Okay, the fab filter Simplon I use for automations. Okay, then we get to the bird call again, the weird noise. Okay, I'm using a snare out of Nexus. It's a nice snare. I love it. Tension, this is just an FX, which doesn't play when I do it like that, but where are you? It's here. It'll go up for 8 bars, and then you have to pick up the channel pitch yourself. Let me show you real quick. Okay, so what I wanted to let you guys know is after 8 bars, it stops with the pitching. You have to do it yourself. If you want to pitch then, okay, let's just redo it. Always make sure this, the up and down are, if you want to pitch for an octave, is up 12. It's 12 semitones. If you want to pitch it up for 2 octaves, 24 semitones, put it up here. 48, it all speaks for itself from there. Make sure this is at 12 again. Create automation clip, and there you have it. It'll pitch for an octave. CPU problems. It's all because of OBS running at the same time with FL Studio, both heavy users on the CPU. Here I have part of the melody come up. Let's illustrate it by doing it like this. It's only one of the 3 layers I use. Again, that CPU. Sorry guys, can't help it. Okay, so as you noticed, it'll start building from here and it'll pitch. I'm doing that over there. I'm doing some other stuff as well. I recorded the filter. How do I do that? It's real easy, let me show you. Okay, so find an empty pattern. Just put it over there. Make sure you're on it. And then let's turn this one off. Start recording. First, you gotta know what you want to record. What we want to record is this one. And let's put it over there. Here. So press the record button. And it'll start to play. Damn CPU. Starting to annoy me now. You can always do macros and then switch smart disable. It'll turn off all the plugins you're not using at the moment, so it'll save up on your CPU. See, there's 1 right now. Okay, so what we just did is, here you can see my recording. It's just to illustrate what we have done. Yeah, if you now play it, it'll follow the steps you just did. Okay, so this is to show you how to do it. Why wouldn't you just use these automation stuff? Because if you do it by hand, it sometimes can give you a sort of human touch to it. And that's why I like to record every now and then. Yeah, do it by hand. I mean, this is all so plastic, I don't know how to say it, but yeah, that's why I do it. It's all because, why do we do it right here? We want to filter out the low here in the top, so it'll drop harder here. I'll show you what I mean by playing the break. No, something is not okay.
Show me to a higher place.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you guys. Something went wrong with this synth somewhere, but yeah, it's all software, and sometimes shit goes down and not the way you want to. Let's see, what I'm doing here in the whole build-up is, of course, it filter out the low. It also, there's coming more reverb into play, so it's becoming more of a big mush towards the drop and without the low. So when the kick comes in, you can just feel it so much better. And yeah, that's how you do it. You can now do it real easily with one button from the Endless Smile by Dada Live. But back in the day, we had to work for it and do it all ourselves. Yeah, we filter out the dry of the synth, make it more verb. Here you can hear these drums, which have a real cool effect. Big impacts. And also here I do some funny stuff. These only come in at the last 4 bars of the build. Yeah. Okay, something is here. Look. Why are you doing that, man? Okay, yeah, it's all just building up, and oh, yeah, you have to create all these effects yourself. Yeah, to make a big climax actually, and then drop. The higher the harder this goes, the harder this goes. So yeah, it's all really dependent of each other. Okay, so now we get to the drop, which of course is the most important part. I've shown this clip earlier on in the reverb sign by. A lot of you ask me, how do I do it with the kick and the leads and make it sound good? Yeah, just use your ears. That's the biggest advice I can give. There are no rules for it. Actually, that sign of the massive, illustrates that it's so much to preference. Usually a drop would have sounded like, yeah, you're probably not gonna even hear the difference. This just didn't sound warm enough to me, so that's when I decided I'm gonna put a sine underneath the whole track. Which is actually really weird, because it's this. Oh, hello. It goes under the whole track. I never do that, but here I do. So yeah, it's all, use your ears and use them wisely. In retrospect, it's always real easy to see what a lead consists of. But before, when you just start out with a blank slate and you have all these samples and all these synths to choose from, it's really hard to find all the sounds which go really well together. Also here, use your ears. Every one of these sounds have something that I heard and I thought, oh, I like this in this. This is just a cool sound. This one I actually chose because of that first initial tick. I like the, how do you say it? Yeah, that attack of it, you know? It's real aggressive, and that's what we need on this drop. And here, that's the savior lead, or actually one of the layers of the savior lead. This has such a warm fuzziness to it, and that's why I use it quite a lot. And yeah, that's why it's in there, and all three of them together make, yeah, this awesome lead. I really like it. So, but as I said, it's all in retrospect. Then it's when it looks easy. But yeah, imagine yourself starting out with a blank slate and having to fit this whole puzzle together. Furthermore, the leads, yeah, do have some stuff to it. For this one, for instance. That's how it sounds without anything on it, with effects. It sounds like that. Then we have number 12 here and number 15. Where are you? That's the savior lead. Okay. As you can notice, I'm using a separate reverb channel, which I showed you last time, which I can automate then again to give it some bounce. Let me illustrate it real quick by putting only this one on over here. Oh. Okay, as you can see, I'm automating the volume of this reverb channel right here. I explained this principle in the Signed by Bassjackers reverb video. So if you want to know more about that, check it out. Furthermore, I'm also I'm EQing, of course. Also here a little boost. Here a little boost. Here's some high off. The Camel Crusher, I love this British clean setting. Usually I take the British clean setting and then adjust the knobs from there. Yeah, and it just gives it some kind of a sharpness to it. Yeah, which I really like. The simple one is for automation purposes, growth beat for the sidechain. Check out Signed by Bassjackers basic growth beat if you want to know more about that. And then this one is also, as you can see here, it's for automation purposes as well. Let me illustrate what it does. Okay, so as you can see here, this one is how much is this on. And I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but if it's this far on, it's a quarter on, this far for the half, and this one totally. So this totally off, not working whatsoever. What you can do then is, let me illustrate real quick. It's pretty cool. Let me turn this reverb off. Not sure how this will sound, but it's for the principle only. If you want to do that whenever, wherever, it's pretty cool somewhere, sometimes to make the ending go a little bit into the reverb, and then when you have a brace on the first kick, it'll give a pretty cool effect. Let me show you real quick. Turn on all these. Okay, it all gives the track way more dynamic, because if you wouldn't use all these tricks, it will be just really flat, you know? And yeah, treat it as being a living organism or some sort, and make it flow throughout the whole track. And sometimes you wouldn't even hear these little things you're doing, but in the end, it will make all the difference. Okay, so then we have our savior lead. I'm not doing that much, just cut out the low, little boost over there. And then we have the rave synth, which I really like as well. Oh, I wanted to show you it, but I'm doing it wrong. Let's turn it on. Yep. That's the original sound, and I think the guys at Nexus did a really nice job, because without anything on it, it sounds awesome. Little dip over there. I showed you this earlier. Okay, we can skip it. So, and then here on the kick, I also have this little add kick over here. Let me show you guys how we got there. Oh, like that. That's something we did. Oh, wait. Not sure if they're inspired by us, but yeah, it's funny because we did like that earlier. I can show you guys that one for the next sign by maybe. Just put in the comments what you would like me to show you next time, and I read it all, and I will definitely take notice. Okay, so what did I do here? When I heard this one, same principle as before. Somewhere in these layers is this. I thought, hey, that's a cool sound. Then I just cut out the lows, having a sidechain on it, and it'll sound like this. And I put it over all my kicks except for the first one, which has the brass on it. So, and then your kicks sound like this. Oh. Is this the same one? Yeah. Just gives this sharpness to it. Also with the kicks, I used two kicks for it. I used this one because I really liked the punch. And I used this one because I really like the tail of it. If you want to have this go up like that, this actually illustrates the volume. You can do it by using this. Standard, the sampler is set to out only, no bleeding, and it'll show up like this. If you then put it on bleeding, transient, it will do nothing. Hello, why aren't you doing anything? Am I in the wrong one? Oh. Oh, wait, that's only at the end. Ah, there you go. Generic, it's just a little bit of that movement. Smooth, that's the setting I'm using. And then crossfade will even go further. So you can just try it out and use it all to preference. Let me restore this real quick, or else the whole track will sound weird. And as you know, I'm using this. Turn everything on. This is underneath the whole drop, and that's basically the whole drop. Make sure you check it out yourself. I'm making the file available on our website, www.bassjackers.com. It's real easy. Just enter your email over there and make sure you have a password, and you'll be subscribed and you'll be able to download this whole file and see how I did my shit, but then on your own tempo. I think I forgot to put on a sidechain here and there, but I really love this drop. It's one of the coolest remixes we've ever done. Okay, so then we get to the break. And yeah, I'm doing a cool thing over there using the vocoder and have Mike sound really awesome. And he sounds awesome by himself as well.
Take me to outer space. I want you to be my friend. We'll make it to the world ends. Show me to a higher place.
Okay, so what I did is, this is the normal, this is the vocal by Mike, but then through a vocoder.
Show me to a higher place. Take me to outer space.
I'm gonna show you guys now how we did it. It's actually a little bit of a cheat. Just open up another Fruity. There you go. And somewhere in there is a template, which is called vocoder. Open it up. And you'll have this thing, which the guys at ImageLine did.
Melting to the imprisoned image of a damaged mind, ravaged by an unforgiving time, expressed the violence.
Okay, so it's all there for you. Of course, it would be useful to check out how the stuff, voice in, voice out, all works. But let me put Mike in here real quick. So, is this a good one? Yes.
Show me to a higher place. Take me to outer space.
Okay, so now we have Mike in here, and we can show you how to change the whole tone of Mike. Just with these settings, you can have him sound the way you like.
Outer space. I want you to be my friend. Show me to.
What I did was having the melody. Let me see where I have it. Maybe I have it in my scores somewhere. Let me check real quick. Higher place. Did it? There you go. Okay, so here you have the chord scheme of Higher Place. I put that over there. I remember I used the silent over here. And a preset called, I think it was the RT chords. There you go. I made this preset at one point, which I thought sounded like Artie a bit, and I like him very much, so I named it Artie chords.
Show me to a higher place. Take me to outer space. I want you to be my friend. We'll make it to the world ends.
Okay, I don't know what I did exactly, but you get the principle, and if you just tweak and do your stuff, you can come to this.
Show me to a higher place. Take me to outer space.
As I said before, it's been a long time since I made the remix, so I don't know what I did back then. But, I mean, making music takes a lot of time, and if you just work those knobs and you'll always get to something. Just put a little trial and error in there. That's how I did it as well. Okay, so this is a bad word in Dutch. Do you always have the same thing when you start to pitch bend a Spire? It will go crazy at some point. So this came from the Spire and I bounced it. It's an RP thing.
Take me to outer space.
It's just all these little elements which, even though it sounds like the original, make sure you just put your mark on there and make it a bit more special than the original might be. Or not special, just different. Okay, so then we get to the build, and it's actually pretty much the same, but this part over here is done different. I'm using, again, the technique Dyro once taught me, and it's the one which uses, no, it's not that one, it's this one. With the direct wave and the technique in which you automate the loop end. If you want to know more about that, make sure you check out Signed by Bassjackers Volume 2, Bring That Beat, in which I elaborate on that subject. Yeah, for the rest, which I didn't said earlier, I'm automating the master volume, which makes sure the volume slightly decreases before the drop, which just in your perception make the drop goes way harder. Yeah, let's just have a listen. I'm turning these ones off here, by the way, because they're, yeah, I don't know why they are glitching, but yeah, they are.
Show me to a higher place.
Show me to a higher place.
The damn CPU again. Okay, so, but it all was pretty clear. Funny thing about this one here, I always felt that we needed more before the drop than only mic.
Show me to a higher place.
It just didn't feel right, so I experimented with all these sounds just before here. I knew it needed to go at this spot here. So I put drums, snares, whatever. At some point I tried out these small vocals and I actually ended up with using only this. And I had it go real quick, which gives it a sort of an error kind of thing. And yeah, it's just what it needs before the drop and which makes it drop so hard.
Show me to a higher place.
And all these little elements which make it special. So make sure you think outside of the box every now and then. Okay, then yeah, we already talked about the drop, and then we get the outro, which is just an outro. Don't get me wrong, a good outro and a good intro are always really important. Yeah, especially a good intro. Sometimes I get demos sent to us, and I can just hear by hearing the first 2 seconds that it's a shitty track. Make sure you pay attention to the intro if you want to get your track signed. I think that's basically it. That's our Higher Place remix. Make sure you check it out all yourself. You can download this file accompanied by some cool samples. Just go to www.bassjackers.com, sign up, it's real easy, and then you'll be able to download this file. There are some other cool stuff on the site as well if you want to know more. Make sure you check our previous Signed By episodes and share it with your friends. If you like anything about it, say it in the comments. If you have questions, go to the comments. If you want to make fun of my weird accent, go to the comments. Make sure you press the like button and yes, share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and you'll be the first to know if I uploaded anything else. So, see you next time. Bye bye.